Welcome back to Talk Local. This evening we are talking with Terry Hodgkinson, Master Hypnotist from Positive Changes Hypnosis Center. And joining us now is Bronwen Gates, a hypnotist also from the same center. Thank you for joining us. Now Bronwen, maybe you can answer this question. How powerful is your mind when it comes to deciding how you're going to live your life and what's next for you?
It's just tremendously powerful. I didn't become interested in hypnosis until about 5 years ago. And I came initially to Positive Changes as a client, but I got so excited about the changes that the mind can make on our lives that I actually started training and reading and studying and became a hypnotist on that basis, because I just find it thrilling that we can make those changes.
Now, as we get into this topic, I want to remind our viewers that we do have 10 books that we are giving away for our first 10 callers this evening. So please call in with your questions and comments, and we'll get your names, and you guys can have a wonderful book. Now, what exactly is hypnosis?
Okay. Well, hypnosis is a state that you're in where you're very relaxed. And in that state of being very relaxed, your subconscious mind is more open to suggestions. And when these suggestions work with the subconscious mind, they can help to change behaviors and habits. So if there's something, as an example, we work with a lot of clients who want to stop smoking, or who want to lose weight, or who want to overcome some fears or anxiety, or learn how to manage stress better, or even learning acceleration for students. Heck, we've even helped people improve their golf game.
Really?
Yeah. Well, golf is, you know, you have the way you hit the ball is a big
serious
habit. It's serious. So the idea here is we record things in our subconscious mind, and they become habits. And these habits are hard to break. Now, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between good, bad, right, or wrong. It just takes in all that information. And we find out that we either have good habits or bad habits consciously. And then when we go to change them, well, sometimes it's a little harder because they're already imprinted into the subconscious. And the subconscious is kind of like, you know, if it has a pair of shoes that it likes to wear, it doesn't want to give them up so easy because they're comfortable. And that's kind of how that works. So we use hypnosis to help change those patterns.
Okay, now does hypnosis work for everybody? Or do you have to be a certain type of person to make sure it actually works?
Well, that's an excellent question, and a lot of people think that they can't be hypnotized, okay? Because they see the stage shows, they see the entertainment aspect of hypnosis, and they say, oh, you never get me up there doing that stuff, no way. Well, that's not what we do. What we do is clinical hypnosis. It's one-on-one. There is no quacking like a duck or barking like a dog. You don't actually have to even speak outside of the preliminary consultation and you know, before the session. But other than that, the hypnotist does all the speaking, and you really just do the relaxing. You know, there are some exceptions. You know, we really want you to be there for you. You know, I remember a few cases where the wife sent the husband in because she wanted him to stop smoking, and he agreed, but he didn't really agree. He was there more for her than he was for himself. And, you know, that's kind of not going to work out as well as it could if the person was there for themselves and really wanted to make the change. You know, it's not about us taking control of somebody's mind, making them do something they don't want to do. It's about cooperation, working together to create new habits and behaviors that are going to work successfully for that individual. My mother just came into the clinic 4 months ago, 5 months ago, 6 months ago.
I think she came a year ago, but then she initially came to work on stress because the stress was keeping her smoking. And she came in probably for about half a dozen sessions on stress, and then she told me that she wanted to start working on stopping smoking. And she successfully stopped, I'd say probably about 6 or 8 months ago now.
Yeah, and I've been bugging her all my life to quit smoking. As a you know, sibling, I've been after her saying, you've got to quit, and I've had nothing but flack all my life. You know, don't bother me, don't bother me. But with hypnosis, it was such a different experience for her.
Now, you touched on stress. So many people today we live in such a fast-paced society. Everybody seems to be stressed out. And you take a bath, and you try to do a million other things to relax. So how does hypnosis help you relieve your stress? Because really, after I leave your office, all the stresses that I came in with, they're still going to be waiting back at my desk, back at home, wherever. How do you handle that?
We have a lot of clients that are coming in for that. And it really helps them to release a lot of the tension, the stress, but also manage it as it comes up on a daily basis. I think what's lacking from our school system these days, and I'm speaking from experience, is ways to deal with stress, ways to deal with pressure, ways to, mentally and emotionally. The skills just are not taught in our school system, and they are so badly needed, really, really needed. When you can develop these strategies to work out your stress and to not let it build up and build up, it's amazing how much more flexible and more free you feel.
Does hypnosis help you manage pain at all for those who have chronic pain? Does that help?
Yes, actually, Bronwen has quite a few clients.
I have several who've come in specifically for pain. One very interesting lady who had pain for 20 years, probably secondary to her diabetes. And she had been on very heavy doses of painkillers, as you can imagine, trying to manage this pain. After she'd come to me for about 5 or 6 weeks, she came in one week and she said, this whole week I only had to take one Tylenol. And she learned with her breathing, with going inside and controlling her thoughts. And the amazing thing is the brain actually produces neurochemicals which are very like morphine.
Okay, on
they
that
don't
note,
have
I'm
the
just going to
side
stop
effects.
you right there. We're going to go to break. When we come back, our last segment here on Talk Local. Please stay with us. Now, just before we went to break, we were talking about hypnosis and chronic pain. You were telling us about one of your clients. Can you finish your story?
Yes, I can. I think I was mentioning that the brain was so powerful to be able to produce chemicals if we trigger the chemicals to handle pain. The endorphins are very much like morphine. They have no side effects. You were talking about side effects, and I think it's important to know that our own body produces serotonins, endorphins, things that help the body to maintain a state of relaxation, peace, pain-free, and we just need to learn how to trigger that. So when I was working with my client, she was able to start triggering those effects. And I was very fascinated by it because by my original training, I'm a medical doctor, I'm an anesthesiologist, and I'm working with the chemical side of how to control pain while I'm working in the hospital. So to learn that there are other ways now to manage pain by helping our own brain to control that, I think is a real miracle.
Now, you might be able to answer this question. Is hypnosis something that doctors recommend as a form of alternative therapy?
I think probably as far as a lot of my colleagues in the medical field, a lot of doctors have misconceptions, the same popular misconceptions that the general population have. It's not quite mainstream, but since the late 1950s, hypnosis has been recognized by the Canadian Medical Association, the American Medical Association, the British Medical Association, so it's well accepted. It's less used because doctors tend to get trained to use drugs and surgery and a lot of techniques that don't involve using the mind. So my training had not been from that viewpoint because I'd gone through conventional medical school. But as I started working with the mind, my practice now is that I spend 2 days a week doing anesthesiology, but I've devoted 2 days a week to doing the hypnosis because I see that it's making such a huge difference to people.